Hey everybody, K-Ray Dynamite here, and today I'm going to address something that I should have addressed months ago. I watched Morbius today. Long story short, he has this illness. Him and his best friend grew up in this place where they needed special treatment. They have a blood disorder where something is missing from their DNA and they're very sick. They have trouble walking, etc., etc. So he grows up after the person who cares for him is like, "You're so gifted," and I would never forgive myself if this went to waste. And as a kid, he's like, "Okay, sure." So he ends up getting sent to New York, and then 25 years later, he's this renowned doctor where he has made this artificial blood that has helped many people. The thing is, though, he has yet to find a cure for himself and his best friend, who he saved by tinkering with one of the machines that helps them live. And that's why he sent him out, because he was like, "You were able to fix this with a pen spring? You need to be out there learning things." Okay, so anyway, he has still yet to find a cure, but he has this thing going on with these bats, and his assistant Martine is like, "Hey, what's this thing going on with bats?" And he's like, "The less you know, the better, but also I'm gonna bring you in, and we're gonna go on a ship and do some illegal research in the international waters." And I'm like, well, if you didn't want her to get in trouble, you sure are like, yeah, let's... Okay, plausible deniability, she cannot do that if she is actively helping you. But okay, Michael Morbius, let's see where you're going. And the reason why he can do this, and when I saw Doctor Who, I was like, Doctor Who? I didn't even know he was in this movie. I don't remember him from the trailer, but anyway. His friend from his childhood is super rich and is able to help him with this research, and that they both need and want a cure from to live longer lives. Am I crooked? Okay, I don't want to get ahead of myself. But you know, the thing about this movie, the acting is fine, except from Tyrese, which I'm not surprised. I saw Tyrese and I was like, he's giving nothing. He's giving zero.
What more do you want from me?
So anyway, the thing about this cure is that he finds it, right? And he puts it on himself. He's the test subject. And then he gets these powers and he kills all of these mercs on a boat. And at this point, I'm like, oh my gosh, he's killed all these people. But then later, they're like, it's just mercenaries. The less there are in the world, the better, or whatever. But the thing about this movie is that it's PG-13. There's supposed to be blood. He's a vampire. But there's not. I mean, honestly, the originals and Vampire Diaries did gore better. And I'm like, how is that possible? He turns into this bat thing. His face changes, and I will say the way they did the special effects with how his face changed was really good. Yeah, so there's that. And then he jumps off the boat after he sees Martine is unconscious and he calls for help. He jumps off the boat, and I'm like, okay, so he swam. I guess he has super strength, so he was able to swim to safety. The people are coming after him, trying to figure out how all these dead people ended up on a boat and Martine unconscious, and that's where Tyrese comes in, the straight-laced detective, and his partner is more of the jokey kind of awkward detective. But the thing is, he wasn't the straight-laced detective you see, if you guys have ever seen The Flash and you see how Jesse L. Martin plays a detective, and he's, well, he also can be jokey, but as a detective, he's pretty straight-laced. Tyrese was just he was so boring. And every time he was on the screen, I was like, why? How did you cast this man? The cop that was his partner, it didn't really make it fun. Usually you have the straight-laced guy and then you have the guy who's kind of quippy. They didn't have any chemistry together. Zero. None. A nurse ends up dead, who we met earlier, who was helping treat a little girl, which we never see again. He puts her in coma. I feel like they were doing something with this, but we never hear from that little girl again. We never see her again. We never figure out if she's okay or if she's alive. She woke up from the coma. We don't, nothing. So a nurse ends up dead who was treating her, and we're like, oh my god. I was like, is this Morbius? Because if this is Morbius, he cannot come back from this. He can come back from killing the mercs, but he cannot come back from killing a nurse that he's worked with for years. But lo and behold, we find out when his friend came to visit him, he took some of the cure.
Wowzers.
And that was a big problem because he was like, I'm trying to save you. You cannot have this cure. It'll ruin your life. And his friend was like, bro, I'm gonna die. So actually, I'll be taking that cure now.
I don't know. I just don't think this is like great for me. I don't want to do it. I want to go home. Like, I can't take the pressure of it. But don't you think any job interview?
But you know, this is the biggest problem I have with this movie is the villain. His best friend gets the cure, turns into a creature like Morbius, but all of a sudden he's just flat out evil. Flat out evil. There's no explanation why. There's no like, oh, something went wrong with his DNA. It's infecting his brain. It's doing something different, than he's having a different reaction. None of that. He's just around killing people. He doesn't care. He's like, it's my time to live. We've been scared our whole lives. Don't you understand? Like, it's time for them to be scared. We've evolved. And I'm like, but you did not have this attitude when you weren't a vampire. So why are you instantly so evil after getting this cure? It did not make sense. I understand losing control once you get it because you're like, oh my gosh, something's happening to me. This is crazy. I want to drink blood. But it was like, he's just started killing cops, innocent bystanders, wrecking things around him. And I'm just like, I needed an indication. There was one indication as a kid when he was being bullied and he hit one of them with his walking stick. And then after he went, it was like, pop, 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 pop. But that's understandable. He was being bullied. So why in the world now, as soon as he gets the cure, he is instantly evil? No setup. No setup at all. He was kind of enjoyable to watch because the actor is a good actor. Like his posture, how he walked, how there was a scene where like he was dancing. All entertaining. But why are you so evil, sir? It doesn't make sense. He had no empathy. And it was just, I needed more. I needed more. And I didn't get it. But you know what? That's alright. Ooh. Milo, his best friend, starts going after people he cares about. I think his name was Richard, is the one who like has been helping them survive all these years, like a doctor. He's been by their side, and all of a sudden Milo was like, I'm gonna kill you, because he's like, you need to stop doing this. I'm gonna help you. He gets him artificial blood. He's like, I don't want that stuff. I want the real stuff. Milo was like, you've always liked Michael better. He was always your favorite. And he's like, that's not true. If anything, you're my favorite. I've been with you all this time, helping you. And he's like, you pitied me. You pitied me. You felt bad for me. And he's like, okay, well. And Milo was like, well, you're repulsed by me. I know you're repulsed by me. And he's like, I'm not repulsed by you. I'm repulsed by what you've done and who you've become. And of course, we see his face start to transform. And he kills this man who has been by his side for 25 years. Make it make sense. And he does not feel bad. This really, really bothered me. Richard calls, that's probably not even his name, but Richard calls Michael and he's like, help, help.
God, oh my 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 god!
And then Michael Morbius goes and he's like, oh my god, what's happening? Then you know what happens? Milo has Martine. Milo, anyway, bites Martine. They have a little kissy kiss. She bites his lip, and then I'm like, okay, so is she a vampire now? So that was weird because I'm like, okay, so what happens is Morbius has developed, he has sonar, If you saw the movie, you know this, but anyway, if you didn't and you're here just seeing me rant, cool. Welcome. He has sonar with the hearing. He can like do something with the wind. He can fly, kind of. I don't know. You know, things a bat can do. And so he starts flying. The thing about this movie, I don't know why they have the visual effects of like different colors, like kind of like watercolor when he does stuff. I'm like, is that to describe how he's feeling when he does stuff, or can you actually see it? Because if that's the case, that's kind of weird. I don't know. It's cool to look at, but at the same time, it's like, what's the point of it? So he goes to save Martine, but you know, she's already hurt. They have a kiss. Again, they kissed before. The thing is they had good chemistry. Jared Leto, I mean, if I was working beside Jared Leto, I bet I would have good chemistry too. Shame, shame, shame. Shame on you. He seems like an interesting person. Would not want to be on the same set with him. What I heard about what he was doing on Suicide Squad set. But I mean, acting with him, I'm sure I have no problem with that. Oh, see, but anyway, okay. Okay, moving on. They have a kiss. She's dying, I think. It's kind of unclear. She bites him to give him some blood, to give him some extra strength, and she's like, don't let this be for nothing. But then she licks the blood like, yummy. So I'm like, so why did you do that if you're about to die? I don't understand. I was like, is she a vampire now? Very unclear, but at the same time clear, because like she's supposed to be dead, but then like, why did she lick the blood? I don't know. But anyway, he goes on to get Michael because he's killed Martine, he's killed a bunch of people, and he killed our guy Richard. He and him go at it, vampire style. But then Morbius is like, ooh, I have these powers, and with these bats. And we kind of saw it before. He walks into like a thing of bats, and he's like, oh, they're my friends. Usually they would be like biting me and stuff, but cool. So he can control the bats, and the other guy can't. So he's like, and the Milo was like, getting, you know, attacked by these bats. And it's kind of weird because I'm like, shouldn't the bats be like cool with him too, because he has bat in him? But all right, guess not. So Morbius is attacking him with bats, and then he gets him with this poison that he was gonna take because he was afraid he was gonna hurt more people, but he gives it to him, kills him. Milo is dead. And then after that, what even happened? Morbius just kind of went on to do his thing, and the detectives was like, whoa, wow. And that was pretty much it. That was pretty much the movie. A lot of it was filler. A lot of it didn't need to be in there, actually, now that I'm talking about it. Do I regret watching it? No. But it just had like a lot of weird choices. The acting, like I said, the chemistry between Martine and Morbius was great. I actually liked their scenes together. They were really cute. If there was some setup to him being evil, then I would have understood. But the only setup we had is that he felt weak as a kid from being sick. But just because you feel weak as a kid from being sick and then you get powers does not automatically mean that you will be killing people and that you will automatically lose all of your empathy. Because that didn't happen to Morbius. He did not lose his empathy when he when he was killing people, he lost control, yes, but after he felt really bad about killing all those mercenaries. So it's like, why did that, I don't know, Sony. Call up Kevin Feige. Ask him to give you some pointers. Then there were 2 lines where he says, I am Venom. Okay. You won't like me when I'm hungry. Okay.
Thank you, though. Like,
I I don't know. I don't even blame Jared. Jared can act. So it's like, I don't know if he's getting like these things around him that just don't pan out to be so great, but like he does a good job with the character. I don't know. I did enjoy the friendship between Milo and Michael before, you know, everything started to hit the fan, and because that was a cute brother relationship. But, you know, then Milo became evil and at a drop of the hat, and Michael had to kill his best friend. So
Yes, very sad. Anyway.
There was so many separate movies going on. There was the buddy cop thing going on that really wasn't a buddy cop because Tyrese's character was just like this the whole time. And then there was the villain who just became a villain off screen. And then there was like a romantic comedy thing going on with Martine and Morbius. And then we had the superhero movie. So it was just a lot going on. I don't know what Sony is doing. They need to call up Kevin Feige and get some advice, because honey, Venom, Let There Be Carnage, at least it is, to me, it is a comedy. I be laughing because Venom and Tom Hardy, I can't remember his character, his name. Venom is funny. It's like a buddy cop movie. And then we have Michelle Williams, who is, you know, she has her little quips, and then you have her man Dan, he's funny too. So, you know, you have some good parts in Venom that is entertaining, and it's like you're watching a buddy cop film. But Morbius just had some things that I was like, this ain't making sense. And I can close my eyes to a lot of things, but I was just like, if 1 + 1 is 1, they had a lot of things missing. They really had a lot of things missing. But you know, it was a movie with words and acting, and I got to watch it for free, so I can't really complain. If you guys have anything to say about this movie, please let me know down in the comments. Let's get a discussion going, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.